it's not every day that we have the opportunity to sit down with a club captain and talk to them about how well their career is going. But the fortunate thing today is that we're sitting down with the Bafana Bafana captain as well, who's starting the game against France. We are lucky to have the audience with SuperSport United's goalkeeper, Mr. Ronwen Williams. Ronwen, how are you today?
Good evening, Courtney. All good. All good. Just happy to be back on the field. And yeah, finally we get to talk.
So, Ronwen, you just before we came on air, you started talking to me about a current injury you had. Now, I don't know if this has been released to your fans or the media. What is the injury you actually had?
Yeah, I had a small niggle that I picked up a few months ago. I had a torn meniscus. A piece of the meniscus was torn. And, you know, we penciled in this date to get it sorted out. And yeah, I mean, the recovery went very quick. I think I done it like 2 weeks ago, and I'm, you know, 100% back on the field again.
That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. But it's come towards the end of the season. The season's almost over. I was wondering, how do you feel upon reflection the season has actually gone for you?
You know, very disappointed. But obviously, you know, as SuperSport over the years, we've always managed, you know, to outdo ourselves. You know, we always managed to get in some sort of final, be in the top 8, fight for some sort of silverware. But, you know, this season we let ourselves down. And I mean, we let a good man in coach Kaitano Tembo lose his job, you know, and it's down to us as players. And obviously, you know, sitting down, reflecting, you know, one has to take into account that, you know, it's some sort of, you know, a turnaround now at the club where we've invested more minutes into the younger players, you know, into our academy. And we need to be realistic. You know, we need to give them some time to grow, to learn. You know, I mean, this is professional setup now and how to do things. And, you know, we need to be realistic and give the boys some time and give the club some time, you know, to give minutes, you know, to these boys, not let them sit in the stands. They're not going to, you know, grow and get better sitting in the stands. So we've given a lot of minutes and invested a lot of time into the youngsters. So in the next few years, you know, SuperSport will be up there challenging for titles again.
I like the ambitious talk and where you want SuperSport to go, especially being club captain now. And that brings me on to my next question. You are the club captain at SuperSport United, which brings a lot of responsibility, and the newly appointed Bafana Bafana captain. Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
How much have you started enjoying the leadership? Because the people are going to start talking about, oh, the pressure this brings, but have you been enjoying this new leadership you've taken on?
Yeah, definitely. You know, obviously in the beginning it was difficult. Over the years, I've had you know, leadership roles where I think it was in 2014 when Coach Kevin Johnson gave me the responsibility of leading such a wonderful team in SuperSport United. And I think I was only like 22 years old, you know, so I've always had the leadership qualities. And obviously I've learned over the years from experienced guys, the likes of Dean Furman, Morgan Gold, and that's players who not only captain SuperSport United, they captain the national team as well. So I learned from them. And yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed every moment, every minute, you know, the ups and downs. And one thing in my leadership role, you know, that I decided, you know, from the beginning that I need to accept that there's going to be a lot of downs, you know, and it's how I stick my head up and help, you know, the guys overcome, you know, all those challenges that we faced and the downs and the defeats. Obviously, you know, the blame will obviously be on the, you know, the captain and obviously the technical team. And, you know, that's where, you know, I've learned how to deal with that. It's just know that there's going to be another game, you know, that you can correct your mistakes and, you know, go back to the drawing board and winning again. So it's been a challenge, but one that I've, you know, taken with both hands, and I think I've done fairly well.
Now, you know, the captain's armband, as I said a bit earlier, brings added pressure. It brings a spotlight. Some people wilt in the spotlight. Some people thrive in the spotlight. How have you managed this added pressure that it's brought to your game? Because it's not just club captain, It's Bafana Bafana captain. You are at the pinnacle.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, now you're the leader of millions and millions of, Bafana Bafana fans, as well as SuperSport United fans. And I think in the beginning, I told the guys, that it's not Ronwen Williams' team, it's SuperSport United and it's Bafana Bafana. It belongs to all of us. Yes, I'm the captain, but we are all captains here. And I think I've like the more experienced guys, I've given them the role, to help me and be there. I don't want to be the captain and taking, all the responsibility on myself, because I mean, it's difficult because, there's so many players that one has to deal with, and obviously you can't do it alone. So at SuperSport, we have a committee, and as well as, at Bafana Bafana, we have, I think there's 3 or 4 of us, the more experienced guys, Sianda Tulu, Percy Tau, who help me and make things easier for me. So that has been a bonus for me, having these guys who's played at the highest level helping me.
So it's not an individual leadership, even though you carry the band. It is a collective leadership linked in with experience and which will also help you to be a better captain, and that's fantastic. But there's that train of thought out there, Ronwen, that outfield players are the ones that are mainly the captain. Outfield players feel the tempo of the pitch, the game, can talk directly to the referee. So what is your comeback to that? Yet there are captains who are goalkeepers and highly successful. Casillas, Hugo Lloris at Spurs. These were goalkeepers who were captain. What is your comeback to that it doesn't have to be an outfield player?
I beg to differ. I think the best captains are the goalkeepers because, first of all, we are the most vocal and we see the game better than anyone else. We see the game from behind. We have a full picture of each and every player in front of us. We see the 21 other players in front of us. And like I said, we're the most vocal. I don't know of any goalkeepers not vocal because that comes with the territory and that comes with the positioning. So I think over the years, if you look down, who's won World Cups, you look at Italy, you see Gianluigi Buffon lifting the trophy. You see Iker Casillas, Lloris. So, I beg to differ. And I mean, in South Africa as well, we had one of, the standout captains in Itu Melenkune, who was a goalkeeper as well, Andre Arendse, so I think, we've got the capabilities, the leadership qualities, because, we need to lead, we need to be vocal out there, and that's a bonus for us.
Looking at SuperSport has given you the platform to be where you are today. You've been at SuperSport for over 19 years, I think from the time you were 12 years old. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
What about that club has kept you there?
Just the family, the values, the values from the academy, from the first day that I walked in the doors, the values haven't changed. We family orientated. I mean, you can call Stanley Matthews anytime and he knows everyone in my family. And that's what we are, about as a club. It's when you come here, you are part of a family. And we always say, once you're part of SuperSport, we are in a circle and we don't want anyone to go out of that circle. And the values we have as a team, as a club, it's amazing. And they've been true to their word. 18, 19 years ago, when I joined the academy, Godfrey Muswetsa, who scouted me, told my parents that one day this boy is going to be, the captain of this club. He's going to play for this club. He's going to represent the national team. And everything that they've ever promised my parents and promised me that they'll look after me and take care of me, they've done it all.
Well, I'm happy that you're so settled at your club. And you hear so many stories where clubs don't look after players. And it's so nice to hear when a club is doing exceptionally well to look after its players. But your career is on the up. You can't deny this. Do you think you will remain at SuperSport for your entire career? Or do you think you'd like to look outside of the country at different opportunities? Where is your train of thought at the moment?
Obviously, I need to, as much as I'm happy at SuperSport, I'm content. I need to be realistic as well. And I've had discussions with Stanley Matthews, with my managers, and like I've said, I've got my own personal ambitions, and if it does not align with what the club is doing, then obviously I would need their blessing. There's no way I would cut corners or force a deal. That's not me. The club has been too good to me. They've been loyal to me through the ups and downs. They stuck by me, and that's why I'm the captain today, and that's why we've won so many silverware together, because we were there through thick and thin. And you never know. I'll just say you'll never know in football what might happen. The transfer window is soon. And like I said, I've done fairly well over my career. And if an offer comes that SuperSport, first of all, SuperSport need to be happy. And if they're happy to let me go, then we'll have to go. But the only way I would leave is with their blessing. But in saying that, if SuperSport come and say, we want you to retire at this club, you are the future of this club, the future CEO, the future coach, whatever I want to do, I can't see no reason why I shouldn't stay, because they've been good to me. If you look around the world football, I don't think there's a club who's got the technical team that we've got. Everyone in our technical team, from the coach up until our physical trainer, has come through the ranks. They've either played for us or come through our academy, and that's amazing. It shows that they look after their players, beyond their playing career.
That's so nice here. That is absolutely fantastic news. And it's good news for how other clubs should be looking after their players, not just only what SuperSport is doing. It should be the norm. But you spoke about your career being on the up, which is a fact. Has there been any bids from any clubs within the country looking for you that have been turned down, that maybe people are not aware of?
Not anything concrete that I know about, but there has been talk where I would stumble across one of the coaches or the goalkeeper coaches, and they would ask if I would like to join or what's my situation at SuperSport. And I can't remember my manager ever saying, that there's a concrete offer. Yes, there's been talk here and there, but nothing concrete, that I can say, no, we turned it down. And in the past, I said there's no reason for me to leave SuperSport because we were challenging for titles. But obviously things have changed now, and I know things have changed. The club knows things have changed, but it's not me being a coward now and running away. This is where the club needs me now. So if they not willing to let me go, I'm happy to stay. But if they say, no, Ronwen, we think that, we are standing in your way, there's bigger things for you, then I'll go with their blessing.
You sound like you found a very spiritual home that's well established and really looks after its players, which then brings me back to something you mentioned a bit earlier here, Ronwen. Your former coach, Kaitano Tembo. What role did he play in your career while he was the manager of SuperSport United?
He was so important, immensely important, because I can remember at the academy, when I joined, I was very short. But obviously I had the ability, but I was very short. And there were a lot of, is he going to grow? Is he going to be good enough? Would he be able to? There was a lot of question marks. And he came, I think, in the year 2007, and he started coaching us. And immediately he made me one of his captains. And I was at the club for like 2-3 years before he came, and that responsibility was never given to me. And here a guy came in and saw that potential in me. And that just took my game and my belief to the next level. That's when I realized that, there is a possibility. And he just came in and told me, he said, Ronwen, in the next few years, I can see you playing for the first team. And, I had a lot of question marks. Is he just saying that to keep me there? But then, he told the club that that's the top 5 players that he had in his under 17 team, who he can see will be part of who can play for the first team. I was one of them, and that was an eye opener. And I had a chat with Coach Gavin Hunt at the time, and he said, yes, you know, obviously I need to bulk up, I need to grow. And I mean, Coach Kaitano, and then a few years later, we're working together at the first team. And then he's the first person, you know, to make me captain on a full-time basis, you know. And I mean, he's been immense, he's been amazing. You know, he's always believed in me, and, you know, vice versa. You know, we had a wonderful relationship, and obviously it was sad the way it ended. That's why I say it was a bit of a disappointing season, you know, in that we lost such a good guy, you know, such a good man and such a good coach. So yeah, it's a sad loss, but, you know, that's football. We have to move on. And, you know, I wish him, you know, well, you know, for the future.
Now, you spoke about how devastating it was to lose such an inspirational guy, a guy that's actually brought you through the ranks. But SuperSport, looking from the outside in, looks so well equipped for the next phase, because very comfortably, a legendary figure like Andre Orense steps into the role. He's not just nobody, a former goalkeeper. You got Grant Johnson in the back as well, another excellent goalkeeping coach and a great goalkeeper in his own right as well. How has that transition helped you continue your upward curve?
I mean, I've worked with him. Coach Grant is my very first goalkeeper coach when I was 12 years old. So he knows me, you know, for the past 18 years now. And obviously, Coach Andre, I've worked with him the last few years. We worked together at the national team. I was his first choice at the AFCON 2019. So it shows that he has the belief that he has in me, you know. So even Coach Thabo September, who's doing, you know, double duties, doing well with the MDC. They're fighting now, you know, to win the MDC, and obviously doubling up as our assistant coach as well. I mean, another legend at the club who won 3 league titles, who was captain, who won so many awards at the club, and to learn from them, you know, is amazing. I mean, Coach Andre won the AFCON. He was there when they won the treble, you know, with SuperSport, three titles in a row. Coach Thabo as well. So it's been easy, you know, because I've known these guys. I trained with all of them. I played with some of them. I mean, I trained with Coach Andre, you know, so it's amazing. You know, we like family, you know, so the transition period, you know, has been amazing. And I think he's done fairly well, you know, and this is opportunity for him, you know, to take his coaching career, you know, to different heights.
Now we're gonna move into Bafana because it needs time. It needs to be spoken about. Obviously, the result in France is not what any of us wanted, but we were up against a team filled with world-class stars. And you had your moments with Mbappe afterwards. I saw you tweeted about, you exchanged shirts. Taking into account what happened to the Diego Maradona jersey last week, going for £7.12 million, where have you hung your Mbappe shirt? And is it safely hung?
Yeah, it's very safe. Obviously, it was amazing, first of all, for him wanting to give his shirt to me. You know, it shows obviously that the impact I tried to have in the game, you know, the saves I obviously made. Obviously, you know, conceding 5 is not, it's not nice. It was disappointing. But yeah, the moment I got home, my son, I checked the t-shirt and it's safely in his cupboard now.
Hold on to it, Ronwen. I tell you, there's a price tag on that shirt. You know, nobody knows what the future holds. The guy's a world-class player at the moment. But what was it like being around these superstars? Obviously, you in South Africa at this point in time are a superstar in your own right, but these are pushing a bit out of Africa in the world, global superstars. What was it like mixing with them?
Yeah, it's amazing. It was amazing after the game, even during the game, you know, having chats with them. And it shows that, you know, the human side to them. You read all these stories about them being arrogant, but I didn't experience any of that. You know, I had a few chats with Giroud during the game, with Mbappe, and they were fine. Even after the game, Giroud came up to me and said, you know, how impressed he was with my goalkeeping. And for me, a boy from Galvandale, Port Elizabeth, getting such praise from mega stars, just showed, that anything you put your mind to, you can achieve, so, just rubbing shoulders with them, first of all, was amazing. And obviously it showed how far ahead they are of us and the work that we need to do to close the gap.
Talking about closing the gap, and that's such a good place to be at the moment. Let's go back to the Ghana game, that ill-fated game with that disastrously poor penalty award that was given in that crunch fixture. Thinking back on the game and how it went, how do you look back on that day?
Oh, tough, very tough, obviously tough to take, but we knew that. I just felt so sorry for the young boys, but then in saying that, I'm happy something like that happened, because that's what happens at that stage, at that level. We know it's there, and yes, I can speak about it and warn them that it's going to happen, but it's for them to experience it themselves, and it was just devastating to go out the way we went out. But I told them, this is a setback for greater things to come, and they're going to learn. Now they know when the AFCON qualifiers come up, when we go away to Morocco, when we go away to Libya, it's going to be tough and you need to man up. And that's what the coach told them. But now I'm happy that they gained that experience themselves, because I know I've been doing it for years, and I know, the mind games and the difficulties, they make it very difficult for you. And I'm just happy, that we showed character. We didn't crumble under pressure. We continued fighting. And I mean, afterwards, I sat down and I looked in the change room, and how disappointed the guys were. And I looked, that is 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds. And I mean, they've got their whole career and life ahead of them. And this, like I said, is going to be set back, hopefully, for greater things to come.
Ghana qualifying for the World Cup in Qatar is a bitter pill to swallow, especially off that penalty decision. For goodness sake, where is VAR? But will you be cheering on Ghana or encouraging other Africans in South Africa to cheer on Ghana at the World Cup?
I mean, like I said in previous interviews, I said we are not angry at Ghana. They did not give the penalty. There's a certain individual who was officiating the game, and we are a bit disappointed in him, not the Ghanaians. They are African brothers. We obviously going to support them, as much as it's difficult to take that it could have been us. But like I said, that's international football. That's how football is played, on the African continent. They make it very difficult for you, the traveling, everything. And we know it's there. But like I said, we're not angry at them. We're angry at the officiating, because that's the guy who gave the penalty. Obviously we knew what shenanigans they're gonna have, but like I said again, it's the officiating that we disappointed in. And I mean, like I said, they are African brothers. We'll support them, because you never know in football. It's could happen to them next time, and then we would want their support.
Ronwen, you've been very good with your time today. I've just got one more question, and we'll come back to SuperSport at the moment. The season is concluding very shortly. SuperSport have not hit the heights, as you said, as you would have wanted them to. What is your targets with your club for next season? And what is your targets as the Bafana Bafana captain for next season?
Oh, definitely Bafana Bafana. That's the easy one. We want to qualify for AFCON. We want to be there in Ivory Coast next year. That was obviously the coach's main aim when he signed. It was not so much the World Cup, because it was obviously short, but then we ended up doing so well. And now it's for us, it's the AFCON. We need to be there. It's not a question now anymore. We need to be part of the major tournaments. And starting next month, starting in the next 2 weeks, in the next 2 weeks, the qualifiers, the AFCON qualifier starts, and we need to be there. We need to be there. There's no questions being asked, and we've learned now. We've gained some experience, and we need to use it. And coming to SuperSport, obviously, we need to see what the club's direction is. Like I said, we invested so many minutes in our younger players in the MDC, and we need to be realistic. If we keep it that way with a very young team, yes, they've gained minutes, but I mean, you are competing with a lot of big teams who spend big money, and that's not us at the moment. So it depends the direction that the club is going. If they are going to go into the market, then obviously we'll, with the quality that we do have, with the youngsters who's gained some minutes, we'll obviously be up there, challenging again. But if the club's direction is, no, let's invest more in the youngsters, then we need to be realistic and, set realistic targets for us, because these guys, the players that are playing, that are starting for us are 19, 20-year-olds, and it's difficult. But like I said, we've invested minutes, and we'll bear the fruit, maybe not this season, maybe not next season, maybe in seasons to come.
Mr. Ronwen Williams, thank you so much for the conversation today. Thank you for your time, your insight. The man who is the SuperSport United captain, the Bafana Bafana captain, with Mbappe's jersey in his son's cupboard. Thank you so much for your time. I hope and wish you all the best for the qualifiers and the new season. Thank you.
Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.